Well, good morning. It's good to see us all gathered in these immensely unstable times in the world. And focus today is going to be on our hands and what we can do in this world to be fully who we're meant to be. Because if we hold that stability, we then can radiate it out in these times which are hard, whether it's drought, whether it's floods, war, suffering is all around us. And the greatest gift we can give in a suffering world is to be fully who we are, and coming back to that original sense of self, where we hold stability in the face of immense instability. And we do it in many ways, but today we're going to explore using our hands. So welcome to the class. Let's start the week by recognizing the unstable ground that we are living on. We long for heaven on earth, and yet what we see is suffering. And so as we come into this space, set ourselves, sit comfortably with a straight back, soft front, and embody the stability, knowing that we are confronted constantly with our own triggers. If you're like anything like me, they keep appearing, those triggers, and the challenge is to recognize them, not to numb out to them, but to hold stability. So we're going to listen to some music as we hold that sat now, rooting down into Mother Earth, who's seen it all. Soften your faces, soften the shoulders, straight, firm back. Feel the softness moving around your face, relaxing down, knowing that Mother Earth can hold us for as long as we are on Earth for. Holding hands open, holding them being open to whatever is, suffering, joy, instability, just allowing ourselves to feel into the grounding, the straight spine. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, listening to this infinite sound of Om. Eyes just looking up to the brow point, everything in line to help us get through these times of challenge. Now feeling into your breath. Breathing right down into the belly, lengthening the spine, dropping the shoulders, rolling them back. With open hands, see the infinite strength that comes from knowing who we really are. Nothing to do but to receive and let the energy flow through us. Lengthening your breath, anchoring ourselves into our breath, into our posture. into the root chakra, being grounded. Coming back to the original self. Feeling the energy through the hands. Tapping into the infinite, beyond the suffering, beyond the wars, the cruelty. Tapping into the infinite energy of who we are. Bringing our hands up as an offering. Open hands, open heart. We often feel powerless to change things, whether it's the environment, wars. But what we can do is channel peace through our hands, our heart. So we're going to this, in this set today, we're going to be thinking with our heart and feeling with our head, doing the opposite of what we're going to disrupt some of those neural pathways. Bringing our hands now into prayer mudra, honoring the fact that we are infinite and yet we're tiny. We can only do on earth that which we have been given to do, which will always be to bring peace. Feeling right down into your belly, allowing the energies to flow through us. Breathing in a bit deeper, staying with the grounding, the earthing. And now lengthening your neck and your head, dropping your chin so that the spine is straight and we hold ourselves in the best posture we can, the best asana to channel this infinite energy. And breathe in deeply and out. And in to begin. Om Namo Gurudeva. Om Om. Breathe in. Feel the breath suspended in infinite space and time. Through the ages, one and the same. No beginning, no end. And release. So let's begin by rolling our shoulders, releasing the shoulders from the strain of feeling we have to carry so much. We carry the suffering of those we're with. We carry our own suffering, releasing it through the shoulders. Just bringing to mind that what Christ said, my burden is light, not heavy. Lightening the burden through the shoulders, using your breath to power you. And as we do it, bring to mind anyone or anything that is triggering you or that you're finding a reaction to. Because the more honest we are, the more we can bring it to consciousness and have compassion and kindness towards that irritated part and changing directions, using the breath, recognizing that these are ancient patterns of irritation. They're not new. Dropping down, letting go of something of that burden that we carry. Now lifting the shoulders up, tensing, feeling the tension that we hold in our bodies. And on our deathbed, it'll all be gone. And release down. And again, breathe in, feel the tension. That which we cannot change, we hit like steel. And our fists get bruised because we're always trying to find a way through. And then we release it and let it go. And once more, feeling the tension. We delude ourselves if we do not honor these unconscious parts of us that are so annoyed and irritated and angry and sad, raging and released. Feeling now the physicality of that release. Let's move into a Sufi grind, allowing the lower spine to circle and move. Feeling the groundedness and the surrender of that which we cannot do. As we drop into who we really are, we recognize how very tiny we are, and yet that we're still a bright light. And we surrender. And in our surrendering, we bring joy because it flows through us. And we let go of what we perceive as mistakes. And we release the spine, which is holding all this pent-up energy. Breathing into the front and out to the back, making the circle nice and big. And changing direction. Feeling yourself dropping down into that base center, down to the root chakra, where we sense a great feeling of belonging. When we don't feel that sense of belonging, we're always fighting for our territory. How wars happen. Feel right down into the depth of the earth of your own rootedness as to who you are. And come back to the center, straightening the spine, stretch out our legs. Feeling down through the sciatic nerve, just tracing the nerve down from the lower back, down through the legs. The whole nervous system in our bodies is so huge, and the networks are so vast. And as we honor these networks, today we're going to work quite a lot on trying to change some of these patterns so that we can get back to the sense of who we really are. Massaging your knees, coming down to your ankles and your toes, doing some stretching out of your toes and your ankles. I've regularly started taking turmeric, and it really helps with those joints, particularly my ankles, my feet. So honoring again that feeling in the feet of how we ground in the earth. And we'll do some straightening up, holding onto the big toe if you can, or your ankle, dropping down still deep into the base of your spine, holding the position with your chin on your chest, your shoulders dropped, feeling the stretch of your legs. Stay there a moment. Just feeling into it. We're always in a hurry to move on. Our brains run ahead of us. We get distracted. Just staying with this posture, feeling into the nervous system. And slowly start moving so that you're coming up and down, feeling the stretch of the sciatic nerve. Now moving your legs out wide, continue doing it and feel where it's slightly different. Between the hips, you'll feel more of a tension in the inner thighs. Just stay with the sensations, because the more we run away from the sensations, the more we fly away from ourselves. If you're like me, we'll do anything to distract ourselves from what's actually going on. Now coming up, straightening your spine, moving one hand to the side, holding onto one foot, bringing your hand over so you're feeling the stretch, and down one leg. Don't be in a hurry, but feel right into it. Back again, arc your arm round and open your eyes and watch your hand as it arcs down over your little mini world and universe. Feeling the orbiting of your own, of the planets around your own sun and the moons. Because we are a microcosm of the whole cosmos, right here in our bodies. Feeling into the body, into the stretching, into the breath. And releasing into the posture, so we're stretching but not being unkind to our bodies. Moving over toward the floor with your hands, really good for your for the connection with the hands. Coming down to the other foot, and focus now on the opening of the hand on the other side, and the breath. You notice we often, when we're exercising, we have closed fists. Certainly at the gym, you're holding and clinging onto machines or running with your fists closed. We're opening, we're doing counterintuitive work, and everything is connecting to the opening up of our hands as a symbol of being open to who we are. Let your hands play their own dance within your universe. Last one. Coming back into easy pose. We're going to continue with opening and closing. So our thumbs are inside our fists. We're going to feel the tension of our fists. And it's really good to notice in the day how you can release your hands from that tension, the grabbingness of acquiring and taking and controlling, all held in this position of the monkey with his hand in the jar. And of course, he can't get his hand out the jar unless he releases it, whatever he's holding. So holding this, and then we're going to open up on the out breath, releasing, breathing in, tensing up. Feel the whole body tense, and then release out. Just keep this titration going, moving between tension and then release. The journey of earth, acquiring, collecting all these heavy energies that we collect, because those are the things that are formed in matter. Matter is quite dense, and then we release it. So symbolically, we are doing what we do on earth. Stay in your body, stay in the sensations of how we cling. And that's very human. It's a very animal, instinctual reaction, is to become territorial and then release. And we need these centers of being territorial because it's our survival depends on it. Our physical survival. And then we release. Last one. And as you hold your hands out, feel the balance of the scales of your body. And feeling the fulcrum of your spine going down into the earth, the weight on the scales of your hands, curling them and uncurling them. Dropping your shoulders, feeling the tension, because that is life on earth. It's full of tension. But we also get patterned into these tensions till we grind our teeth at night. I'm always having dreams where I'm looking for my way. And release down to the earth. And spend a moment knowing how very, very small our little universe is. There are universes upon universes out there. Our solar system, in fact, our whole Milky Way is one among billions. So we ground ourselves, we feel a sense of the release, knowing we are just a spot of light. So we're going to do one short workout, and then our main set's going to be really quite a meditative one. So I'll do the aerobic workout, which you'll probably remember. So it's 8 hars. So I'm not going to play music, but we're going to do. So we start with going up with our hands, thumbs connected straight up. Har, har, 8 hars. Har, 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 har. And then we're going to bounce down, touching the floor with 8. Har, 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 har. We come up and we flap our wings for 8. Har, 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 har. Then we do crossovers, so it's har, 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 har. And then we go into archer for 8 on one side. Har, 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 and the other side. Har, 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 har. We lean back on back bends for 8. Har, 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 har. And then we go to one side for 8. Har, 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 har. On the other side for 8. Har, 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 har. And so we're going to start again. Har, har, straight up. Har, 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 touching the ground. Har, 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 flapping wings. Har, 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 crossovers. Har, 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 archer. Har, 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 other way. Har, 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 back bends. Har, 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 side bends. Har, 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 other side. Har, 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 and we start again. Straight up, straight spine. Har, 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 right into the belly with the har, 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 down to the ground. Har, 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 flat wings. Har, 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 crossovers. Har, 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 archer. Har, 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 other side. Har, 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 back bends. Har, 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 side bend. Har, 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 the side. Har, 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 har. One last round. Straight up. Har, 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 touching the floor. Har, 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 flat wings. Har, 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 crossovers. Har, 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 then into archer. Har, 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 other side. Har, 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 back bends. Har, 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 side. Har, 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 other side. Har, 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 and release out, feeling into your feet, hands on your hips. Just catching your breath, pummeling your feet onto the ground, feeling Soft knees, straight back, dropped shoulders. Just feeling into that sense of the bioenergetics of holding more to the balls of your feet than your heels. Soft knees, feeling into the earth. Feet a bit further apart, keeping onto the balls of the feet, just bending down a bit and up, keeping the knees soft. And go, just gently go down a bit further if you can, keeping the back straight. Coming down, sitting in easy pose. Hands behind our back, stretching out the shoulders. Coming down more and more into the body. Because unless we can feel into our bodies, sensing what our bodies are asking of us, it's very hard then to drop beyond that into the infinite self. Releasing that, just doing one ground exercise. So we're holding our knees to our chests, feeling your back flat on the ground, lifting your head up into a ball, feeling that long deep breath, but also the constriction of your body in the seat position. And strength, lengthening one leg now, holding onto the other with your head on the ground, lifting the one leg up and down. Stay with the sensation, stay in the physicality of your body. The more we get distressed in our bodies, the more we tend to close down, we shut off. We find our breath becomes shallow. And just to consciously pay attention to what's going on in your body is the beginning of being able to let go and to become the original who we are. As the infinite light taking residence for a season in this body. And changing legs, holding onto the other knee. Bringing our knees back together into the chest, curling up again with our heads above, curling up with our heads to our knees. Long, deep breaths. And release down. Feet just gently touching onto the floor. Hands, palms open on the ground, facing down. And tighten the buttocks. And then lift up with your, focusing on your hands now. The hands are open. Open hands, open heart. Thinking through the hands and the heart. Lifting up your bum. And then releasing it down. Keeping the focus on the hands. There should be heat now in your hands. Releasing, letting go of whatever that we're holding and gripping onto. And then letting the spine do the work to release that energy, tightening up and then releasing down. Two more. And releasing down. Give yourself a bit of a hug and a rock and a release of the lower spine. Whatever way you need to rock from side to side. Rocking up and down, coming up. And we're going to start this rather unusual kriya, which is also a sort of a meditation. So it's coming back to the original you. So our hands, it's all focused on the hands, interlinked, facing outwards, pushing out. So you're feeling into your fingers, into your hands, straight spine. We're going to breathe in equal breaths through the nose. Eyes are looking down to the tip of the nose. So make it as slow as you can. So you can breathe into the count of 5 or 7 or up to 10, but make it equal. So what we're doing is we're reprogramming the mind through the breath, through the mudra. Just keep your counting even. And become an observer of the posture. The more we separate ourselves from it's a traumatic response landing on Earth, and we observe it, the more we can embody who we really are without detaching from the sensations of the body or dissociating. You might feel the strain in the shoulders, just feel it, notice it, recognize it. Or in the hands, focusing in on the breath. We're halfway there. See if you can release the tension in your shoulders. As you're holding them tense, you also release the tension. Last 20 seconds. And release the posture. Just shake it out. Shake the hands out. You might feel them stiff. Just play around with your hands so that they can release that tension that they've been holding. Reminds me of holding a grandchild's hand over a road and holding the hand too tight. They say, Granny B, you're holding my hand too tight. Releasing the tightness from the fear of what we're trying to protect ourselves from. Shaking your hands out again, because we're going to go back into the same position. Pushing out this time, we're going to change the breath. We're confusing the brain to try and access that infinite part of ourselves. This time, we're going to breathe in the same breath, but breathing out through the mouth. Keep the breath even. Holding the tension, which is inevitable on earth. At the same time, we're releasing it, creating different pathways in our brains. First few. And release the posture. Shake out your shoulders. Just shake everything out. Always moving between tension and release. Spend a moment feeling into your hands, to the tips of your fingers. So much energy comes through our hands. And then the last one, actually the penultimate one, is same posture. We're going to hold our breath this time, big breath in, and pump the belly with the breath held in. Feeling into the hands. You're pushing again, as if you're pushing against something. Feeling into your fingers. And when you can't hold your breath anymore, release the breath and start again. Right, when you release your breath, you can do it like a cannonball through the mouth. So you feeling the pressure cooker right in the belly. There's no way out of the birthing process of this life. The tears, the suffering, except when we release it. Danger is that we hold it so tense and we forget to release. And we recognize the suffering, the triggers, the pain, the injustices, the wars, and then we release it. Last one. Release the hands, release the shoulders. And feel into your hands, just moving your fingers. They've been holding quite a stiff position. We're going to now circulate this energy by holding our forefingers up, our thumbs over our other fingers, and we're going to circle it round at the heart center as fast as we can. Change directions. And again, change. And sitting very, very still. For the last minute, we're going to have our hands over our hearts. Great brain of our life is our hearts. Letting the brain feel the injuries, the suffering, the pain. But in our hearts, let's expand them to the sense of who we really are. Just listening to God and me and God are one. Thinking with our heart. Sorry, we can't do that for longer. But holding that in your hearts, that we are infinite beings, allowing the energy to flow through our hearts, through our hands, through our beings. Bring your hands into prayer mudra. We close with 3 satnams. Let's breathe in to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Feeling into your hands, giving yourself a blessing, recognizing that these healing hands, whatever they touch today, hold this energy of love, of intention to not harm. Sat Nam.